All right, buckle up, everyone. Today we're getting into something that's really captured a lot of attention lately, launching your own business in the AI world. If you've been watching this space explode, maybe even felt that little pull to start something yourself, you know it's full of promise. But, well, it's also got its hidden complexities. Our sources today paint this really vivid picture. They use a metaphor that just nails it, comparing starting an AI company to opening the, quote, hottest restaurant in town. Imagine that kind of buzz, right? A place everyone wants to be, serving up these incredible, innovative dishes. Now just picture that. But it's an AI restaurant. Cutting-edge tech, explosive growth. It sounds amazing. It's that kind of opportunity you see in all the tech headlines. Totally irresistible. But, and you know there's always a but when things sound that good, right? Here's the cold, hard truth that doesn't always get shouted from the rooftops. Just like actual restaurants, most new digital ventures, especially in AI, they really struggle. A lot of them burn out. Some even shut down before they properly open their virtual doors.
So our mission today is to really unpack why. Why do so many ambitious AI entrepreneurs hit this wall of overwhelm and, often failure? And then stick around because we're going to reveal a really surprising, maybe even revolutionary alternative business model that could completely change how you think about AI entrepreneurship. Think of this as your shortcut to getting the real story, understanding the landscape without drowning in all the hype.
Yeah, and that restaurant analogy is fascinating because it's so accurate. The source uses it brilliantly. It highlights how seductive the dream is, but it also glosses over a pretty brutal reality. I mean, the restaurant industry itself, notoriously tough. High failure rates, especially in that first year.
Right.
And it's usually not about lack of passion. It's crushing overheads, fierce competition, just the sheer complexity of running the place. It's a perfect mirror, really, for the challenges someone faces trying to launch an online AI thing. The appeal is huge, but those unseen obstacles, even bigger.
So true. Okay, let's dig into that core problem then.
Yeah.
Our source says the biggest dilemma for the solo AI entrepreneur is being forced to wear just way too many hats at once. In this AI restaurant picture, you're not just the head chef creating the AI magic, you're also the architect designing and building the whole digital setup. Then boom, you're the head of marketing trying to fill the place. And on top of all that, you're the general manager juggling the books and admin. It sounds impossible.
It absolutely is. The source flat out calls it trying to do the impossible. And that's not hyperbole. You're essentially expected to master 4 completely different full-time jobs simultaneously. And here's the key thing. It's not like a personal failing if you can't pull it off. It's baked into the traditional way of starting these businesses. It's a setup that almost guarantees burnout and, unfortunately, a really high failure rate. So maybe we should break down these 4 hats one by one, see just how tough each one is.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's start with that first monster role, the architect and the general contractor. Because before you even think about serving up any AI dish, you got to build the thing itself. Your software, your app, your unique AI solution. That's the foundational tech challenge, building the actual structure. It sounds daunting.
Oh, it is. And this is where that whole no-code platform idea can be a bit tricky. They're marketed like, a DIY kit. Easy instructions, build your dream digital house.
Right, click and build.
Exactly. But as the source points out, you quickly find those blueprints feel like they're written in a foreign language you don't actually speak. You end up spending months just trying to connect the plumbing your APIs, basically getting different software bits to talk to each other.
Like the waiter talking to the kitchen?
Precisely. Then you're trying to install the big commercial ovens, your core algorithms, and wrestling with the electrical wiring, making sure it's secure and it works. And often the result isn't that 5-star kitchen you dreamed of. It's dysfunctional, maybe even hazardous, and often not even finished. And this whole building process, it's not just frustrating, it's expensive, really expensive. You're burning through cash on what the source calls permits and materials. Think software subscriptions, hosting, databases, paying for API access.
All before you even have a customer.
Exactly. All these costs hit you before you've even tested your idea in the real world. You could be thousands, maybe tens of thousands, in the hole with just a half-baked, buggy kitchen. And then comes that moment the source calls the failed inspection. You finally launch, and your first users find it's too slow, or it crashes, or it just doesn't do what you promised. That technical nightmare, it often kills the dream right there. A silent killer for so many ventures.
Wow. That sounds absolutely soul-crushing. I mean, who could sustain that? Makes you wonder, why even try that traditional route? Okay, so let's say by some miracle you actually build this complex digital kitchen. You're not done, right? Not even close. Now you've got to figure out what you're actually serving. So you trade the hard hat for a chef's hat, because here comes rule number 2, the executive chef.
Right.
And this is where that massive pressure to create kicks in. You have to invent this Michelin star menu, which is your whole marketing ecosystem and your unique AI products.
That's exactly it. The source calls this the agony of creation, and it really fits. It's this relentless pressure to be a creative genius like 24/7. Your menu isn't just the AI tool. It's crafting sales pages that sing, that make people want your AI dish. Maybe it's a page explaining how your tool automates research for, say, busy lawyers. You need those tempting daily specials, your social media content, quick demos, interesting stats, stuff to keep people hooked.
Constant content.
And then you need those warm, welcoming service scripts, your email sequences to guide people along. The demand for continuous, high-quality, original creativity. Utterly exhausting.
Plus, there's the premium ingredients problem. To make a truly unique AI dish, something nobody else has, you need top-notch data, maybe sophisticated training models, unique ways of prompting the AI. For a solo person, that's like a small-town chef trying to import rare truffles from Italy every week. It's practically impossible.
So you end up with something generic. Often, yeah. You use the ingredients everyone else has, so your product ends up tasting, well, kind of bland, like everyone else's. And on top of that, there's the authenticity burden. People can smell robotic, AI-generated marketing a mile off. So you're trying to be this brilliant scientist and world-class artist all at once. It's too much for most people. A creative treadmill you can never get off.
Okay, so somehow you've defied all the odds. Kitchen built, menu created, the AI food is theoretically amazing, but guess what? Your restaurant is empty, completely empty. Which brings us to hat number 3, the charming maitre d' and the super savvy head of marketing. Because no matter how good your AI tool is, if nobody knows about it, if there are no customers, it's a failure. Simple as that. This is where the fight to fill the tables begins.
Right, the empty dining room problem, as the source puts it. It's the harsh reality of being nobody in a very crowded market. Why should anyone risk trying your new, unproven AI restaurant when there's a famous 5-star place next door with thousands of rave reviews?
Credibility.
Exactly. It's the authority and credibility gap. Without a track record, without professional branding that screams trustworthy, without social proof, building that initial trust to get people in the door is incredibly hard. So what tends to happen? You end up being the barker on the street. That's the exhausting, sometimes kind of demeaning grind of just shouting on social media.
Come try our AI. Special offer.
Pretty much. You're on every platform, yelling about your specials, practically begging people to come inside, trying to be heard over thousands of other barkers doing the exact same thing. It feels desperate, it cheapens your brand, and it's just demoralizing. Instead of building something prestigious, you're just hustling. And what's really at stake isn't just lost sales, it's your brand getting eroded, your own motivation just tanking. And you might just get ignored anyway. Even worse, you might fall into what the source calls the complicated menu trap, following some marketing guru who tells you to build these crazy complex sales funnels.
Oh yeah, the upsells, downsells.
Right. Multiple steps before a customer even gets a sniff of the actual dish. It just overwhelms people, scares them off. They came looking for a simple, tasty meal, and now they feel confused and pressured. So they just walk out, gone forever.
Man. Okay, so even if you manage all that, build the kitchen, write the menu, somehow get a few people in the door, you're still not done. Just when you think, okay, now I can focus on the AI, bam, you get hit with the reality of role number 4. The meticulous accountant and the stress-out general manager, this is all that behind-the-scenes stuff, the admin and the money worries that often just crushes the entrepreneur's spirit and the business.
Yeah, this role brings that crushing overhead, your recurring digital costs. It's like the rent, utilities, and staff costs for a physical restaurant, but for your AI business. The source mentions software subscriptions, web hosting, email autoresponder fees, maybe ad budgets.
Things you pay for every month.
Every single month, whether you made a sale or not. That creates this huge, unrelenting financial pressure. It can turn something you were passionate about into just a source of constant anxiety, this drip, drip, drip of expenses that never stops. And that financial stress, combined with trying to juggle the other 3 jobs, that leads straight to the infamous 100-hour work week.
Which is just not sustainable.
Not for anyone. You're fixing AI bugs 1 minute, writing social posts the next, then customer emails, then trying to figure out your accounts, maybe dealing with server problems. It's all consuming, a relentless grind. It's the fastest way to total burnout. It wrecks your health, your relationships, even the love you had for the idea in the first place. You might as well, I don't know, try teaching a truckle pig to code while riding a unicorn. It feels that impossible. And the final, terrifying threat is the risk of ruin, the very real chance the whole thing fails. And if it does, you don't just lose a business. You lose the dream, your savings, months, maybe years of your life. It's a massive financial and emotional hit. Many people just don't recover from that. That's the tragic end for most people trying to wear all four hats.
Wow. Okay, after hearing all that, it paints a pretty bleak picture for the solo AI entrepreneur, doesn't it? It almost feels like chasing a mirage. It really makes you ask, is there any way to succeed? Any way to avoid becoming this four-headed monster managing all these impossible tasks? And this right here is where it gets really interesting. Because after breaking down those four impossible roles, it's clear the old way isn't working. It's a blueprint for burnout. But what if? What if there was a dramatically better way? What if you could be the celebrated owner of a 5-star AI restaurant, famous for your amazing signature AI dish, but you never had to design the kitchen or invent the recipe or hire the marketers or manage the day-to-day grind?
And this isn't just a fantasy. It actually exists in other industries. In the food world, it's the ghost kitchen model. Think about it. A professional kitchen facility that cooks food only for delivery.
Right, you see them on food delivery apps.
Exactly. A restaurant brand can use a ghost kitchen to sell its food to tons of people without ever needing a physical dining room. No building, no managing that space. It's a brilliant shortcut. It lets the brand focus just on their customers and their image, leaving all the operational headaches to someone else. No commercial rent, no permits, no hiring kitchen staff. You just focus on the brand and the customer. And our source introduces the application of this exact model to the AI industry, the GPT Creator Club. It's described as the world's first and best ghost kitchen, specifically for AI entrepreneurs. Now, just to clarify, GPTs here means these custom-built AI tools, right? Specialized for certain tasks, often using those big language models, but delivered to you ready to go.
Okay.
So this service, the club, is designed to give you a fully operational 5-star AI kitchen and a proven popular signature AI dish every single month. These are tools ready for you to put your own brand on and sell to a market that's already hungry for them. And the key, it completely eliminates all four of those overwhelming jobs that sink so many businesses.
That is fascinating, because it sounds like it tackles every single pain point we just spent time unpacking. Instead of trying to do those four jobs better, this model says, hey, we'll do them for you. That really changes the game, doesn't it? It shifts the whole idea of what starting an AI business means. So it's not just a small improvement. It sounds like a fundamental change. Are there, any downsides, any trade-offs to this more hands-off approach?
That's a really good question, and understanding this shift is crucial. The trade-off, if you want to call it that, is maybe letting go of the need to control everything. You're trusting experts with the tech development, the product ideas, the core marketing materials.
Okay.
But what you gain is huge leverage and freedom. It's a strategic choice, right?
Yeah.
You decide to focus on your core strength, which for many entrepreneurs is connecting with customers, building that brand, instead of getting totally bogged down in building complex AI stuff. It's kind of like how cloud computing changed IT. Suddenly, you didn't need your own server farm.
Right, you just use AWS or something.
Yeah.
Exactly. This ghost kitchen idea is doing something similar for AI product development and marketing. It's about smart delegation to enable faster, maybe explosive growth. Let's break down exactly how it solves each of those hats we talked about. Okay, first, the architect pain. Building the kitchen from scratch. This model says, the kitchen is built for you. Let's imagine an entrepreneur, Sarah. She wants to launch an AI service. With this model, every month, boom, a professionally built custom AI tool, a GPT, lands in her lap. The tech is solid, secure, handled by experts. Sarah doesn't need to code, manage servers, wrestle with APIs. She gets a perfect, ready-to-go kitchen, turnkey. No building, no failed inspections. It just works.
Okay, that takes care of the tech nightmare. What about the chef hat?
Right, the chef pain, that agony of creating the menu. The solution here is the signature dish is created for you. So Sarah doesn't have to spend months brainstorming AI ideas or messing with data and models. Each AI tool she gets is like a unique, high-quality signature dish designed by expert chefs who know the market. It's built to solve a real problem for a specific group of people. She's essentially handed a proven winner, something people already want. That whole crushing weight of inventing something from zero that might not even sell, gone.
Wow, okay, architect and chef handled. What about getting customers? The maitre d'.
Yep, the maitre d' pain, the struggle to fill the tables. The model tackles this by ensuring the marketing is done for you. This is huge. Sarah doesn't need to suddenly become a marketing genius. The service provides professionally designed menus, meaning high-converting sales pages. It gives her invitations, persuasive email sequences, and advertisements, really nice social media graphics and posts.
So the whole toolkit.
A complete toolkit to fill her restaurant from day one. She gets professional marketing assets, so she's not stuck shouting on social media or building those confusing funnels. Her brand looks polished and credible right away.
Okay, that leaves the last hat, the manager. The burnout role.
Exactly, the manager pain. The burden of the accountant and general manager. The model's answer, you just own the restaurant. Because the kitchen, the menu, and the marketing are handled for her, Sarah is freed from all those administrative burdens that lead to burnout. No tracking dozens of software bills, no 100-hour weeks troubleshooting tech. She can finally focus on the fun part.
Being the owner.
Being the proud owner of a successful, profitable brand, building relationships with her customers, watching her business grow. Her main job, as the source puts it, is just putting her name on the door, opening for business, and welcoming happy customers. It's a total shift, letting the passion come back.
So, thinking about all this, what does it really mean for you, listening right now? The choice laid out here is pretty stark, but also really compelling, isn't it? Do you keep trying to wear those 4 impossible hats? Architect, chef, marketer, manager, battling against the odds, risking burnout? Or do you look at a model like this, one that lets you focus on just being the successful restaurateur, the proud owner, the person delivering value? It seems like an incredible chance to step into this exciting AI restaurant world at a 5-star level, but skipping the years of struggle, the huge costs, and that devastating risk that takes most people out. It suggests you can stop trying to build the whole thing from the ground up and instead maybe just take the keys to a fully built, ready-to-profit AI business today. It really reframes what building an AI business could even mean.
Absolutely. And maybe zooming out for a second, this whole model brings up a bigger question, doesn't it? For anyone building any kind of business, what impossible hats are you wearing right now that maybe aren't your core strength, that don't directly add your unique value? This look at the AI Ghost Kitchen isn't just about AI. It's about seeing these systemic industry problems and finding clever ways around them, ways that let entrepreneurs focus on what they actually love and do best. So maybe think about that in your own ventures. What burdens could you potentially shed? What would it mean to leverage smarter infrastructure to find more freedom and potentially unlock whole new ways to succeed? It's about working smarter, not just harder.